You're tired of working day in and day out, trying to find new customers, chasing leads, doing whatever work comes your way, and never getting to earn what you're worth. You do it because you love the work, and you're passionate about serving older customers and their families. We get it. What you need is more of the right customers for your business, and more income for you and your family, so you can grow and help more people in your community. Well, you're in the right place, because this is Booming Your Bottom Line.
Hi, I'm Aaron Murphy, and this is episode 71 of Booming Your Bottom Line. With me, as always, is our CEO and my business partner here at BYBL, Mark Hager. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Aaron. How you doing today?
Good. This week, folks, we want to talk a little bit about the massive change that's going on in the world around us and why you should be changing a part of your business to accommodate and reflect these changes. Our goal for you is to stay ahead of the curve, create separation from your competition, and gain the majority of your market share in your local community. The three things that we want to cover today, and we're going to tell you how to get started implementing these things immediately, are: number one, you should be selling by educating. Number two, you should lead with giving. And number three, you should be findable, likable, and involved. Sound good? Who's up for that?
That does sound good to me, Aaron. And Aaron's right, y'all. This world, the world that we're now living in and will for the next 20 plus years, is somewhere you've never been before as a business owner, and you won't ever see again during your career. But are you ready for it? Now, have you positioned yourself in your company to capitalize on it? And do you even know what we're talking about? Okay, well, let's zoom out for a minute and get you caught up. The world is changing, and it has been for a few years now. It's finally becoming top of mind, making the news, and the statistics are gaining traction in the media outlets around the world. We have a colleague who we're going to be interviewing on the show in a couple of weeks, Mr. Kim Walker, who is leading this charge in Asia. Now, Aaron's been contacted about consulting for cities in India on the subject. It's everywhere now. And if you don't get going now, you're going to miss the opportunity that is this silver tsunami.
Yeah, very true, Mark. So let's help folks here that are new to the industry or those that are just getting started, wanting to grow this part of their business. I want to start with a few of those staggering statistics, the undeniable facts that point to this massive opportunity for those small businesses who are or want to be serving the boomer consumer, our aging population, and the adult children and caregivers who make up their support system and social communities all across the U.S. and the world now. So the stats that matter, folks, let's just run through a few of these. Boomers that are born from 1946 to 64, that's typically the category. Leading edge boomers are the older boomers, and this includes people now like Cher, Bill Clinton, Dolly Parton, Jimmy Buffett, Steven Spielberg, Reggie Jackson, okay? 10,000 people started turning 65 every single day in January of 2011. That is one new 65-year-old, folks, every 8 seconds. Now, people are turning 70 every day at that rate. Boomers equate to about 78 million potential customers for you across the United States. 76.4 million baby boomers represent close to a quarter of the estimated 2012 population of 314 million. The choices they make about whether to retire or continue to work are going to have profound implications for job openings and Social Security spending. And by the way, according to the American Community Survey data, about 68% of baby boomers were still in the labor force in 2012. These boomers have 5 times the net worth of the U.S. average. They control 70% of all disposable income, I mean spending money, you guys, in the United States. Older boomers are the first to have to wait until 66 to collect on Social Security, creating longer working careers, increasing career incomes, and therefore those disposable incomes and retirement, financially speaking, right? In 1850, life expectancy was 47 years old. Now it's 78.8. This medical and technological advancement, which created longer lives, is being termed things like the new third of life, the longevity bonus, to refer to Ken Dykewald, and their entire industries like healthcare, transportation, housing, nutrition, and many others that are working to reinvent themselves and figure out how to capture this client. And you should be too. And FYI, as a side note, women make 85% of the spending decisions for a household. That's something that's being referred to as the sheconomy. Okay, those are just a few of the hundreds of stats that tell the story of the boomer consumer, who they are as a group, but don't you dare stereotype them,
That's right.
and the control and the power they have over the decisions that they're making and the spending power that's going to drive our economy for the remainder of your career. Period. End of story.
That's all true, and that is some very powerful data. And boy, there's no denying what you should be focused on if you want to start or grow your business in the next 20 years. The boomer and the network around them that makes decisions about their lives, health, family, housing, travel, transportation, the list goes on. So, what are you doing to be new or different or special? The best customer experience for your boomer clients. How are you advertising that? How are your sales funnels and systems reflecting this information? How are you being nimble and adjusting, changing, modifying your business to capitalize on gaining the trust and rapport that these clients look for, that they expect and they believe they deserve and are willing to pay for, and also can refer others to?
Yeah, those are good questions for our business owners, Mark. They're tough ones, but they're pointed and they're pertinent. Folks, there's just no denying this anymore. When Mark and I started learning about things like aging in place, the term was barely understood and far from mainstream languaging. But now, people we all know in the entertainment industry are talking about it, finally. Susan Sarandon, Kevin Costner, Anderson Cooper, people are talking about caregiving for their parents and the realities of getting older. Stevie Wonder's on the Grammy stage joking about how he can read the awards card in Braille and you can't, followed by commenting on how the world needs to be more inclusive for people of all abilities. Are you hearing any of that on the news media outlets where you're at? Are you paying attention? Are you thinking about what you should be doing about that as a small business owner if you plan to survive, let alone thrive, and capture a part of this once-in-a-lifetime and first-time-in-history opportunity? Trust me, if you aren't or you don't start soon, it's going to be a wave you didn't paddle fast enough to catch, a humongous wave. That silver tsunami that Mark referenced, that's what they're calling it. And if your competition gets this right before you do, your company will drown in the wake of those that got it right and early enough. It's cresting now, and it is time to go.
Absolutely, Arian. And that's why we're here, to teach you what you should be doing and what you need to do that's new, different than your current status quo, better than what you've done before. One of the biggest pieces of that is your sales process. Folks, we don't live in a door-to-door vacuum salesman world anymore. We live in a tech world. Your phone is smarter than the mainframe in your dad's office that took up rooms bigger than your living room. And people are still looking for referrals and references, but they're oftentimes doing that online, not in the church pew on Sunday. Folks still do business with people they know and trust, but the way you go about earning that trust and rapport isn't the same as it was 40 years ago, even 20 years ago. Are you different than you were 20 years ago? Well, yes, likely you are, but is your business? Well, it should be. Now, your actionable items for today are about your sales process. And there are three major things that you can and should be doing in completely different ways than 20 years ago, or even 5 years ago, to be honest. The first is you should sell by educating. When speaking, writing, interviewing, anytime you're coming in contact with potential customers, by educating people, you're giving them perspective, knowledge, and the benefit of your experience. And by doing this, you're empowering people, right, with information that they need to make educated decisions about their lives. This teaching is also what can catapult you to the local expert status. And two, you should be leading with giving. And we're not talking about tchotchkes here. This is providing value to people before you ask for a sale. Part of the giving is through your educational efforts, right? And most of it is in the value that they receive every time they come in contact with you, regardless of how they come in contact with you. Meet someone at a senior fair, give them value. Have an interview on a local radio station, give them value. Publish a new post on your website, you give them value. Meet somebody in the grocery store, you get where this is going. It's all about giving them value. And finally, the third thing is you should be findable, likable, and involved. Now, findable, when someone searches for what you do on Google, you need to come up at least once on the first page of the results. When someone asks for, a friend who they should call for the service that you provide, they're going to give them your name, right? Look, folks, people need to know who you are, what you do, and why you do it. This is a big deal. So if that friend they just asked who doesn't know who you are, guess what? Somebody else got the work.
Yeah, good point. And guys, when we say likable, we mean your servant's attitude is what endears you to people. Your knowledge that you share garners you respect. Your caring and empathy draws people to you. Your commitment to always doing what's right makes people trust you. All of these things add up to people liking you. And when you're liked, you're shared. And involvement. Involved, we mean by that you need to be seen at the heart of the community and the purpose you serve. Volunteering, supporting, or getting involved with support for causes, sponsoring things, spreading the work your community or your local organizations are doing that matter to the people that live right there. Your commitment to your community and local philanthropy will pay you back in spades, and we can both speak to that.
Mm-hmm.
We just did an entire training focused on these types of topics for a group called Aim Big. It's a national group of occupational therapists focused on home remodeling. We've talked with several of them individually already about going down this road so they can infiltrate their local market and become synonymous with the type of work they're doing. I'm going to shoot it straight with you here. Serving the boomers? Anyone that's listened to us for a while, you know we're serious about this. Providing assistance to them in the coming years is going to be a national imperative.
Yeah, and this isn't a maybe going to happen thing. I mean, this is coming, like it or not. And we, and I'm speaking as a consumer, right? We, the people of the United States of America and every community across the nation, we need you to take your place, to be the successful company that as successful as you can be, so you can serve more people, and to be successful enough that you can choose to help the people that can't pay when you feel led to be knowledgeable enough to know exactly what we need, then lead us through the education and advising to get us there, and to be plugged in enough to have the network that we're going to need, right? So we can get everything that we need. And you know what? You can't do that. You can't be that if you're not running on all cylinders. You won't be able to be successful enough to help enough people if you don't stop doing the things that aren't getting you there and start doing the things that will. And if you're not showing up in local search for what makes you money, if you're not speaking and teaching regularly, if you're not educating at every touch point with consumers, if you're not speaking their language, if you're not making emotional connections with them, if you're not selling enough to make the money that you need to make so you can worry less about what you have to do next and instead focus on growth that reaches your goals and what people need. We're telling you because we care. Because we want you, the boomers in your community and their families, to be okay. And without people like you stepping up and making it happen, people are going to hurt. Look, you can help the hurt and make a lot of money in the process. Who wouldn't want to do that?
Oh, great point, Mark. Look, if your heart's telling you that it is time to get moving, your next best step is talking with somebody like us, and we'd prefer it's us. We can give you direction in less than 30 minutes that could really change the game for you. Sure, we've got stuff for sale, but this part is done out of service to you. We just taught you, provide value first, right? So if we can help you get where you want to go, we'll tell you how we can do it. But it's not about that. It's about you getting what you need to move your company forward. We want to help you do that as fast as possible because people are starting to figure this out. We've already had people we've met in our audience, Facebook group, newsletter list, etc., that share the same city. They're listening to the same words you are. What needs to happen with local business needs to happen fast, especially in the area of remodeling and home care and those types of things.
Mm-hmm.
So we're telling you the iron's hot. What you do right now could very well determine who gets this right in your community. Now, my recommendation to you at this point, without any delay, is to go to bybblive.com/start. Fill out a short form and schedule that phone call with us. Get to it and hang on. Things are about to get crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I hope that you've gotten some inspiration out of this episode. We do take episodes or parts of them to ask you to step up to the plate. Mark said it. Your community needs you. And, I hope this was a bit of a kick in the pants for you. So get out there and make it happen. We're here to help you take action on it, take learning, and make it implementable so that it can make a difference for you, your family, and your local community. Thank you for listening. Until next time, be well, be bold, and boom your bottom line.